This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
G'day guys, welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Summer Helene, and we are on with my co-host, the guy that apparently can't keep his mouth shut on camera and keeps having to make us restart the live stream.
The baddest bear in the cage is what she meant to say. Bear Fiorda.
It is not.
No, it is not. Okay, I made my mistakes. I apologize. I do have a bit of a mouth, bit of an open brain. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind, but sometimes I really should be afraid to say what is on my mind. But welcome everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic week.
We could call it your Kanye West moments.
My Kanye West moments. He hasn't really had many moments recently. Oh no, it was the Grammys.
Let's see. He put his wife on the Grammy carpet without any clothes.
That he did.
Then he did his Super Bowl ad, which was just him staring into a phone. Which the first time he did it, it was cool. It was like a shock. But this next time, it was like we've all seen this.
He's kind of redoing it,
and then it directs you to a page where the only thing you can buy is a plain white shirt with a black Adolf Humperdinck symbol.
Why is he doing this to himself? I don't like. Yes,
people are blaming it on mental illness, but the truth is, he just wants attention.
No, I was going to say you can have mental illness. There are plenty of people. Mental illness is unfortunately common. You get 10 people in a room, one of them probably has something going on in their brain. But you know what? They function, or they medicate, or they figure it out. Hear
me out. I have obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
My psychiatrist sent me this test. I sent it to Alexis. She aced it. She went over and above. But she doesn't have obsessive compulsive. She has obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
I thought that was you.
No, I have that too.
Oh, fantastic.
And obsessive compulsive disorder. But I sent it to my dad. He aced the test.
Well, that's where you get it from. Is your father?
It is. It's the psychiatrist turned around. He said, you usually get it from one of your parents.
Yeah.
He said, I was like, it's my dad. He said, well, you can look at which parent. I was like, it's my dad. He's like, well, you can see what parent. I'm like, dude, it's my dad.
Is this the moment where I can go back and tell my mother, hey, you're the reason why I have this and that?
There are certain things that are learned behaviors.
Yeah.
And I grew up with, in my house, there's the right way, the wrong way, and the Navy way. And two of those are the same thing.
The wrong way. No, I'm sorry. I hope he doesn't watch the show.
Anyway, I sent it to him and oh my God, like he's not at like, hey, he needs to be medicated level,
right.
But boy, he's skirting it.
But you know who is at the medicated level?
You?
No, Kanye West. Get on some. There's nothing wrong with meds. What's his name said it perfectly?
Yeah, that was Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Ironically, well, that was it. And he turned around and he goes, you know, we know which part of Kanye is driving the bus. Pete Davidson had his tattoos removed. He actually just did a photo shoot.
Really?
Where, he's had all his tattoos removed and it was just him in his underwear.
Was that because he's got on meds or got off his meds?
He just, for whatever reason, decided to have all his tats removed. He looks good.
That's gotta hurt, man. That's a lot of laser.
That is a lot.
And the scarring stays, like, oh God.
But look it up. He looks good.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that was one of the reasons him and Kim got together. You know, he's looking great for himself.
No, they got together while he still had the tats. And then he got branded.
Branded? The hell does that mean?
Branded. It means that scarification. And so they take a hot poker and brand you.
What did he get branded for?
Kim's name.
No, he did not.
He did.
Absolutely did.
He did.
He was with her for 2 months or whatever. He brands her into his body.
And that is mental illness.
That's why she left. She saw that, was like, oh, hey, Pete, I gotta go on this like year-long cruise on the other side of the world. I'm probably never gonna return. They're gonna get kidnapped.
She got her pound of flesh. I love that. I love it. Yeah, sound engineer. So you guys know the best stuff we ever say on this show always comes from our sound engineer. It's not from us.
He's got the best jokes hiding up there.
He's sharp.
Yeah.
So essentially,
So back to talking about the Grammys and all the things that kind of went down this week.
The Grammys were terrible. Then they've been putting influencers on the carpet, not like you influencers that actually are good at media.
Oh, thank you.
But just, kind of the look at me jiggle girls. And so they put this chick on the carpet to interview people.
Right.
And I guess she got excited to see Chapel Rowan. And she's in the middle of talking to Babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, Babyface is one of the most influential artists of the 21st century. And he started in the 20th century. This man, he's been at it for a minute. And so she's interviewing Babyface. She clearly has no idea who he is or what an icon he is. Sees Chapel Rowan, cuts off this interview with Babyface. Chapel. I'm like, you don't get to be a fangirl and be on the carpet. Don't get me wrong. We all have our moments. Like, I've had people excited. I've had people all kinds of stuff, but no.
That actually reminds me of personal trouble that I have whenever I'm commentating on fights, because I'll see a member from like my gym go into the octagon, or I can't say that, into the cage, and I'll be like, I actually had to start saying it beforehand because I my favoritism would come out, and I'm like,
that happened with Mikey.
This, that, or the other.
His buddy, one of his training buddies, just had a fight, and you could hear it in your commentary.
Crushed it. Didn't get hit once. Beat the guy in the first round, but
you could hear in your commentary you had a favorite.
But back to the girl. That's more disrespectful than people would really consider, because at the end of the day, you can imagine, whatever, I'll just move on. It's not my life. It's her life.
She failed at doing her job.
Oh yeah, I would never hire her back on that.
I mean, people came and asked Babyface about it and were like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah,
and he doesn't give a shit. It's like, I don't care who this unknown TikToker is that failed to do her job. Like,
whoever
whatever
brought her on to do that and saw that get leaked, he or she just shat themselves right there in that chair.
Absolutely. At the end,
the gift basket
the chick
Babyface is gonna get.
The chick had turned around, and she's at the end. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. We're all big fans of Babyface." And you can see her co-host looking at her like, "Shut up."
It's so bad.
It was horrible. There's a point where you're like, you just don't insult people like him.
No, but
you don't insult people, period.
But that comes from she didn't know who he was. And even if she didn't know who he was, how unprofessional of you to cut off an interview midway to give someone else the spotlight. Like, I've been to venues and red carpets where... She was afraid
she was going to miss Chapel Rowan, but what she missed was Chapel had lined up behind Babyface for her turn to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been to carpets, you know how it
everyone
works.
Lines up today. Everyone's going to get their time. Yeah.
Whatever. But she essentially lines up, Chapel lines up, and she got excited, thought she was going to miss her opportunity to interview Chapel, so she cut off Babyface. There are many things you do in life, many, 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 many things you do in life, but you don't do that. Now, if you can, so tell me, I'm going to tell y'all, there were a few funny moments. One of my favorite red carpet moments of all times actually comes from our guest. He's not on yet. He'll be on in a few.
Okay.
With Miguel Núñez from his Joanna Man days. Y'all send me your favorite red carpet clip. The funniest red carpet clip you can find. First one to make me laugh gets a free ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California. And then I'd like to shout out, by the way, to Bellamy Hair Extensions. Thank you for always doing my hair. Tiny Bubbles Hair Salon in Palm Springs, California. And of course, we are going to be out speaking at Phoenix Fan Fusion and staying at
Embassy Suites by Hilton. I'll never forget. Also, to anyone's credit who wants to send that video in to win a free ride at Off-Road Rentals, she loves dry humor. So that way you have a decent shot now.
He's
humor
helping you, Chief.
Is subjective, and you got to know what kind you want. You send slapstick, you're probably not going to hit.
I like Mr. Bean. I like the.
I did not like Mr. Bean in that B TV show.
I didn't watch
Mr. Bean versus the Bee or whatever.
I didn't watch that.
It just made his character look so idiotic. So
Mr. Bean is idiotic.
He is, but before it was like, oh, I can resonate. That could happen to me. That's kind of silly. No, it was so dumb.
My favorite though, the so for the Monty Python fans out there, if you ever get a chance.
A chance?
A chance.
I just never hear you say it like that.
It's literally how I speak. I'm stuffy right now. Is that causing the problem?
That might be the
My
problem. I don't
nose
know.
is
I'm just.
stuffy.
You caught me off guard for a second.
If you ever get a chance, have a look at them talking about growing up poor. One of the best skits of all time.
Growing up poor.
Growing up poor.
Oh, okay, that's cool. You said that was a Mr. Bean thing, though.
That's no. That's the Monty Python.
Oh, that's
gentleman.
Monty Python.
The best one for Mr. Bean is the ordering at an Indian restaurant. Get a chance, look it up.
Oh my god. No, that kind of comedy's got such a great backing though. I think it would do really, really well in today's atmosphere. I know it's not the most modern idea, but if Monty Python was to have some kind of research,
no, it'd be Blackadder. Blackadder. Blackadder.
Blackadder. I've never heard of that before.
I'm leaving you.
No, you're not leaving me. You're going to explain what Blackadder is right now.
Blackadder is an excellent television show. Did you all see The Tudors? You know how that sort of thing, you got The Tudors, you got Bridgerton. It's like that.
It's the joke.
But good. It's like that, but good.
Is it like The Office?
It's Blackadder.
But is it like a documentary style? Is it?
It's The Tudors and Bridgerton, but funny. Just look up Blackadder. Just look up Blackadder.
I will look up Blackadder to have a better understanding of it. Thank you.
It's just we have to break up.
No, we don't. That's not a breakup word. What is your
I beg your pardon. Back me up here, everyone. Him not knowing Blackadder is a good reason to break up.
What is your minimum reason for breaking up with somebody? Minimum.
That I've actually done?
No, just like a standard you have. The least reason to leave someone.
I got bored.
You got bored?
I've broken up with people because
not even something that they can control. Just
it's not like in a relationship, but I've been on dates with people where I got bored, so I left.
Okay, that's fair. I would say for me, the least reason I would leave somebody, probably not if they started doing this in the long run, but within the first month, is their table manners. If I got smacking lips.
You lasted a month with bad table manners.
I would assume a couple things assumed here.
One of the
hang on. To assume here. One, I don't see them all the time.
I hate these
and
videos.
And two, I've tried to talk them out of it.
No.
I would try to help.
These videos where you see people sitting there. No. Manners, please. Basic table manners. We are raised in a society now. You'll know I'm a monarchist.
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer in that. I genuinely believe we have become, as a society, so lazy and so tacky and so ugly as people. I mean, just foul as human beings that basic manners goes nowhere. What we have instead are people saying things they shouldn't say, back to Kanye West, doing things they shouldn't be doing, and doing some of the most bizarre things on the planet. And table manners, the bare minimum. It's like putting on pants. I'm tired of seeing people in Walmart in their pajamas. Manners are not about you. They're about having respect for other people. And if you can't chew with your mouth closed, then you should be shot in the face.
I have chewed.
Speaking of no manners,
I have absolutely done this before. And so, all right, I guess I get to get shot in the face now.
Speaking of no manners, Meghan Markle left Invictus.
Oh, right. I almost forgot
Prince
about
Harry
that. It was so irrelevant to everyone's life, like she always is.
Prince Harry showed up drunk and apparently stinking the day after Meghan Markle left Invictus. So I don't know what's going on in their relationship, but she is trying to get some good press, and it is going very poorly. She grabbed a hold
not doing great.
She grabbed a hold of a woman in a wheelchair and physically moved her to position her better for a photo.
Well, listen, if you're not in the right shot, and someone's got to help you, right?
That wheelchair is that woman's body. You do not grab a person's wheelchair without their consent and move them for a photograph.
It's a chair. It's like if you have a cat. It's like if it broke your leg and you're on crutches and someone comes and moves your crutches somewhere else. You're in the wrong spot.
This way. No, bad Snuggy Bear. Bad Snuggy Bear.
Oh, man. Help, I'm being abused.
I'm just saying, who turns around and goes, you know what? I'm going to take your bodily autonomy and move you because I need a better photo shot. So you've got Meghan Markle,
she should have known better.
No, you've got Duchess Difficult, who's now left there. You've got her husband, the ginger prince, just drunk as hell. And don't get me wrong, I have a soft spot for redheads. I think they're cute. Ginger beard here. Your beard.
It's hard to tell. Yeah,
and
my beard is red.
And so's your chest hair, and so's other things. The point is, I've always liked redheaded men. when you have
Continue.
children in the background, she's horrified. But when you have children, yeah, she didn't love that. But I like redheads. I thought he was cute.
Who else thought he was cute? One of the women dating.
Most of the girls in Hollywood thought he was
It
cute.
was someone specific though. Now I can't think about it. All I know is that Johnny Depp, or not Johnny. Who's voicing Harry's voice in that
Orlando
show?
Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. Yes.
Oh, Katy Perry.
Katy Perry thought that he was a stud. Yeah.
Until he married Meghan Markle,
God.
and now he has no manners. So, speaking of men with manners, one of my favorite people, we're going to welcome to the show Miguel Núñez. Welcome.
Welcome. I got a lot to say.
Yes.
Move that lady in the wheelchair right out of the way.
Hey, you're infringing on the shot.
You are gorgeous. I love this. I love
What
that
is
coat.
it? No, listen, she should move straight away. She shouldn't be had to be moved. She should have been moved straight away. She shouldn't just be sitting there. She sees the princess. She should move all the way up herself.
She should, yeah. She should have just got up, walked away, and given the space to the princess.
But you can also say the princess could have actually moved to another location for her shot.
She probably should have, rather than grabbing and moving a disabled woman. It would have been a better call.
But did the disabled woman feel anything about it? If the disabled woman,
she panicked. She didn't know it was happening. She walked up behind her, grabbed her without the woman knowing, unhooked it, and moved her. So the woman started to panic because she's a disabled veteran, so she has PTSD.
Okay, well, first of all, I think that's wrong. I think it could have been handled way better. To me, that's
little bit.
Absolutely.
You don't grab a disabled woman with PTSD without her consent and without her knowing.
And you said Prince Harry was drunk, so I guess when in America do as Americans do. When in America do as Americans do.
Oh yeah.
They were in Canada.
Oh Lord.
They were in Canada. Yep.
That's just North Americans.
Yeah, that was.
I guess those went out of America still do as Americans do.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we are not fan favorites in France. I'm just saying right there. Oh,
I agree with you right there. There it is. And there it is.
So you are one of the most interesting people I've ever talked to. I've talked to you in person. I've watched you host. I've watched you across the board. You are funny. You are charming. You've had a career where you've done a little bit of everything. What was in your career? For those that don't know who Miguel is, look him up. Seriously, he's a Hollywood staple.
It's not fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's really easy, to be honest with you.
For you, what was your most interesting moment in Hollywood?
I lost the voice. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me
We
now?
got you now.
Can you hear me? If you got a phone call in and you're on your phone, it will block the sound. So you may actually have to hang up and call back in.
I think the problem is he can't hear us. We can hear
I know.
him.
I can't hear you.
Can you write him and tell him? So for those that don't know, one of the problems we have, and I love this, is if you get a phone call in, it actually blocks the sound. And I haven't figured out why yet.
Sorry, I'm trying to type to restart. I said restart. Let me
You're doing
do a
great.
little autocorrect there. Restart. There we go. Why is there a leaf in our computer keyboard?
Why are you blowing the computer keyboard?
I did not. Well, when you say it like that, it's very
So, Kimmy, would
very
you tell
odd.
Tia to text
yeah,
Mr.
we
Núñez?
need our producers on this immediately.
Because
We
he's
need to
not-
get that icon back in here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
he was running
seriously.
the show at that
Oh,
point.
he was fantastic. He's always funny. He's one of my favorite people to interview because he's so for those that don't know, when you interview people, some people are a lot of work to interview. He is the easiest person in the world to interview. He's funny, he's smart, and he just goes with it. And I think he's had so many years of hosting and so many years of being in entertainment himself that it's a no work situation.
And he handles. I honestly, I haven't seen him enough to see him make a mistake, if at all. But he handles other people's mistakes really, really well.
He does.
Yeah, he handles them. Not just grace, like having patience, but he's very funny about it. He knows how to spin a bad situation to something that's entertaining for the audience. God, what else can I say? I wish I seen more of his live work, honestly, too. Like when he hosts, I wish I got to see more of that.
I liked he was over hosting the Harper Awards.
Yes.
And he was great there. I've watched him do a ton of that, his interviews. So for those of you that don't know, one of the ones he's best known for is Shawana Man.
Mm-hmm. I happen to have it up right now, actually.
If you guys have not seen that movie, that is one of the funniest movies of all time.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Hi, I'm sorry. I don't know. I hit some button and I don't know enough about this stuff.
So when you get a phone call in, when you decline it, it actually cuts the sound out. So if you're on your phone and that's how you're getting in, you get a phone call in, just ignore it. That's the best you can do.
Thank you. I didn't know that. Thank you.
No, it's all good. Absolutely.
No, we found that out the hard way. So we were talking about you. We were talking about your hosting. We're talking about your acting. We're talking about your ability to, handle people and all of that. And I said, you're one of the easiest people in the world to interview because you have so much experience. You just kind of take it and roll. For you, what was your best moment in Hollywood?
I think my best moment in Hollywood was the very first TV series that I got up because a lot of people know I ran away from home. I'm from a little town in North Carolina called Wilson, North Carolina. And I talked like this when I first got here, and they used to call me Country Boy. Make a long story short, and it's a long one. I was raised on a farm, and I ended up, as soon as I graduated, I told everybody who would listen every day of my life, I'm going to be a movie star. And everybody told me, including my family, every member of my family said, it's not possible. You're skinny, you're poor, you're ugly, and you're black. Those were the things that I was told. Everybody in the neighborhood, I get where they were coming from. They was like, you're making A's and B's in school. You can do anything you want. You got to think of something realistic. You're in the backwoods in North Carolina, deep in the woods. Because we were really deep in the country like you see in movies.
Damn.
And they was like, how is that possible? Everybody would tell me they got actors in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles and New York, and they're in the acting school. They got agents. I mean, how are your little skinny black ass going to get there in front of that? And I was like, I don't know. I'm telling you. I promise you. I just know it. I knew from the day I could speak, it was going to happen exactly the way it is going to happen. I knew, I don't know how I knew, I just knew it. I kept telling everybody, I'm telling you, I know it. I don't think it, I know it. And that's how I was telling them. As soon as I graduated, June, July, August, September, October, 4 months later, I made 3 bologna sandwiches, got on the bus, and ran away to Hollywood. I didn't think about what I was going to do. I didn't think about that. I saw from where I was right then to where I am today. That's what I saw. That's all I saw. I didn't think about the middle because I figured whatever is going to happen, it's going to work out because I already know the end. But little did I know, I ended up living on the street, waking up with lights on me every day, sleeping behind the bus station, selling my blood to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I was on a bus once. There was a guy going. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, I'm an actor. And I said, I'm an actor. I came here, my name is Miguel Núñez. I'm from 640 Cemetery Street, Wilson, North Carolina. And I came here to be a movie star. Da, da, da. He was like, I said, what is that? He said, this is a resume. And I said, what is a resume? He said, he's here. You take that. I got more. He said, you're going to have to get resumes. You're going to have to get some photos. You got to get an agent, blah, blah, blah. And he was going to this thing called a cattle call. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Anybody can audition. Anybody can audition.
Open
and
audition.
They was having it in the park. So I see him get off the bus. And I see cameras. So I get off on the next stop. I go into a copy place, write his name out, put my name on top of his resume, and make another copy. I didn't know you didn't need a resume, but I figured I could get in. I told that guy to have a picture. So I went back and I got the lead in that Gino's restaurant commercial. And I was still homeless. And I ended up, the guy was like, how did you get it? Who are you? I was like, my name is Miguel Núñez from 640 Cemetery Street, West North Carolina. I came here to build one. He was like, okay, wait. And I said, hey, that's the guy who told me about it. And it was the guy who was like, wait, you got it? And he was like, I don't have an agent. He said, I'll take him to my agent. So he took me to his agent. Of course, his agent signed so he can get 10%. And I was like, hey, my name is Miguel Núñez. I'm 640 Cemetery Street. I'll be a movie star. And I was like, I want to be a movie star. And I told him, and he was like, you know what? I like you. I'm going to sign you. And I think and he was like an agent for like the up and coming at the time. And I think the next 47 auditions he got me on, I got probably 140 of them. And I was ended up on my first TV series, got here in 80. My first TV series was 87. And it was Tour of Duty of Vietnam on CBS. That was the most influential because it actually just shot me straight to the front of the line and being in the mix. And then everything else started. I was still homeless when I did Friday 13th, Return of the Living Dead, staying in a county hotel rather, and which is still homeless. So
Right.
and I think that was the one that had the most impact. And then Joanna Man came on later and gave another big boost because it was my first major in a studio film. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just been, I give God the credit because he brought me through hell. I could tell you things that happened to me when I was homeless that blows people's mind. Matter of fact,
Oh, we cut out. I want to hear this. Can you tell him we cut out?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. If we lost him or he lost us.
But, well, it's just blacked out. He might be getting another call.
Oh, yeah, he might be trying to ignore it because...
Yeah, here's the thing. I got to tell you. He has got to be one of the most popular people on the planet. When I've sat with him, his phone's going 24/7. I wanted to hear that story.
I know. I'm sad to ask him to repeat it when we get back on.
I know.
But I want to ask him why the bologna sandwiches.
Because he was hungry and he needed to take food with
why
him.
only 3?
I think he didn't think that through. But that was. I can hear you now.
Hey, we got you.
Yeah,
back.
I didn't answer it, but it still turned the sound
out.
off.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do.
Well, it turned the video off this time too, and we were right in the middle of one of the best stories.
Okay, go ahead.
So you had gone through. You were saying you had gone through hell being homeless doing this,
right?
Oh, you want me to keep going? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go right ahead.
I mean, where do you want me to start from? You want me to just keep going from there? Okay, so listen. So I end up getting that and life changed, but you know, I like I tell people, kids today, I speak around the country. Listen, you can't let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do. No one can tell you what you can or cannot do. No one. How could they possibly know your capabilities? Don't let anybody tell you you can or you cannot do something. Because when I got here, I swear to you, I literally, God took care of me. God literally took care of me because you got to remember.
How did you keep faith? I mean, when you're talking about being homeless, you're in dangerous situations, you're around dangerous people. How did you keep faith in such a dark situation? I mean, that faith not just in God, but in yourself in such a bad situation.
That is the key. Listen, it's because, and like I said, I knew if I had to come here thinking I wanted to be an actor, hoping that I wanted to be an actor, just dreaming about becoming an actor, and I dreamed about it every day. Or somebody said, you're talented, you should go, and then I took the risk. Or somebody said, you're beautiful, you should go, you should be a model. And that's what happened. California is full of people who are dreams, and some of those people have dreams that are in them, and some of those people have dreams that have been put on them by other people. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you can sing. You need to go to Hollywood. Oh, you're talented. You need to go to Hollywood. So a lot of people are old and they jumped on the dream that other people put on them. What got me through, and this is another thing to kids, if you have 100% total faith in yourself and what you're doing in your mission, and you stay focused to it, because I was laser focused to it every day. That was what it was about, not taking no for an answer when somebody told me something. What got me through the danger, what got me through the cold night sleeping behind the bus station, what got me waking up every day and going, what is this? And they say, you're covered in lice and having to go downstairs and get sprayed with poison at the Union Rescue Mission, and eating beans and broken donuts that all the donut shops give the broken ones to the mission, and you get beans, and some of them are not even all the way cooked, and they're crunching in your mouth for your breakfast and your lunch and your dinner. What got me through it was the fact I absolutely knew what was going to happen. I didn't think it. I didn't hope it. And that's what happens with broken dreams. Kids come out here and somebody told them that they want to do that. But if they had to go through what I went through, even a third of what I went through, they would have given up, went back home. They would end up on a stripper pole. They would be just waiters the rest of their life, or homeless or whatever. Because broken dreams are when people give up. Never, ever, 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 ever give up. But the reason I didn't give up, the reason that things happen is because I knew what was going to happen. I can't give up. I already know what's going to happen at the finish line. I believed it. with my every fiber of my being. And if you have that kind of faith in yourself and whatever it is you're doing, there is no way on God's earth you're going to fail if you keep going towards it.
Of course, you believe so much in yourself. You only pack 3 sandwiches to make it out here.
It's incredible.
Well, that was naivety. I didn't know. I didn't know how long it took to get there.
What I find so interesting is I hear stories from you, and it mirrors even Conor McGregor, who went, I am the greatest. I mean, he was sleeping on a mattress on the floor when he was doing a documentary about becoming the greatest fighter that ever was. Every star you ever hear of knew it. And
absolutely, just like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, he wrote that check for $1 million. You know about that? Yep.
No, not the check. What?
Okay.
Tell me about the check.
Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $1 million and put a date on it and said he was going to cash this check on that date. The first time he ever made $1 million, and that's what the check was on the date he had wrote it on that check when he first started out.
I love that. But you hit the nail on the head. It's something I tell people. I lecture at universities. I talk about the business end of film, and I constantly tell people, you are going to hit the floor. You are going to fail. Everyone fails. It's whether or not you can get up. And
absolutely.
Get up. That's what makes a difference. And the people that get up are the people that know who they are and where they're going. You knew you were going to be a star. You have one of the most interesting fan bases on the internet. Have you ever been on Reddit and looked yourself up?
No.
You should.
You call me after this. I want you to show me how.
Yes, sir.
r/Miguel Núñez.
Yes, really. It's some of the coolest stuff. And it's all of these, like, the funniest clips. Juana Man has its own fan page. You've been in all of these iconic, in so many iconic roles. What was your favorite and least favorite role?
Wow. I don't know if I've ever had a least favorite role, but I've definitely had everything. You got to remember, I'm a country boy, and every single role I've ever done, from Scooby-Doo, being on Tangalooma Island off the coast of Brisbane, Australia for 6 months, and being treated like a royalty, from Street Fighter, being on the Surfers Paradise in Queensland, Australia for about 8 months, and being a street fighter and having limos at your disposal, bodyguards everywhere you go, and you don't understand what's going on. It was because the Capcom, the company, gave us made us feel like kings the whole time, from the little bitty one role in this film. Everything to me has been the one little role in this film is just as wonderful to me as being on the set with Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, and Life with all of these movie stars. To me, it was all the same, because I feel blessed to have the career I had coming from where I came from. So if people ask me but Juana Man, I have to say, that was when you're number one on the call sheet.
Yeah,
it's like being Pharaoh.
Yeah.
So, but that aspect was an experience too. So I got to be number one on the call sheet, which probably even 1% of people in the entire business will be. That and Tour Duty, I still say was my favorite. That was my first TV show. It was about Vietnam. Right. It made such an impact. Veterans, I have Purple Hearts that veterans sent us. It's just the impact was far-reaching than television. And Friday 13th and Return of the Living Dead are two films that they're just horror movies that I'm sure other actors would have passed up back in the day. And right now we make more money from just the fan base of that than everybody probably made on the film put together.
They're iconic. I mean, you're talking about iconic films.
100,000 folks come to these horror things. Madness.
Yep. Oh, it's the fan base, and it's a true fan base. You have
it truly is deep. Those guys. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, it feels like everyone, especially in the beginning of the career, somehow ends up in horror films.
You do.
Yeah. But something weird, because I said that was always my favorite, and I was like, I want to be in a horror movie. That was one of my first things I used to tell everybody. I was gonna go to Hollywood and be in a horror movie.
I like that.
Awesome. And if you
did. What is it like going from Greyhound buses and bologna sandwiches to limousines and champagne? I mean, that's a big change coming from where you came from.
I've been to the lowest. I've been in the deep country, raised in somewhere where they did forest. I was raised out there like that. Where he lived would consider where I lived the country.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, I learned how to drive on a tractor. We
That sounds kind of bitching though. Not gonna
that's the
lie.
that's the honest to God truth. That is the honest to God truth. We had pigs, cows, all of this stuff, you know, and to go from that to being on the richest man on the yacht, on the world's yacht for New Year's in St. Bart's, to being on $100 million yacht in St. Bart's for 5 or 10 years all over the world, in parties with every top person, Michael Jackson, everybody you could possibly think of, but best friends with. All of these people, and Mike Tyson, one of my best friends, in the locker room with him for almost all his fights, you name it, all of that has been. Everybody say, how does it feel? How does it feel? And I can still say to this day, I'm gonna give you an example. I never looked at it like the way they're looking at it. Even though where I'm from, I don't think there was anybody I was like, everybody I met, because I was looking at my life from there, from what I already knew. So I always knew I'm gonna be just like this. I walked around like this. I'll give you an example. When I was coming up, the owner of the Lakers was like my godfather, my best friend, and my buddies. I have Lakers 5 championship rings. I got Lakers when they win one, I get one. It's like my family.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, that is
That's fucking awesome.
that's awesome. I'd like to
Yeah.
remind everyone, every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care, and he can't clean his mouth up.
Okay, good. I like that. If I do it, I'll pay too.
Yeah, perfect. Well, it's called the Sean Patrick Flaherty rule. And we were at Comic-Con, and he said the F word 72 times in 30 minutes. So we had, it's how he talks. He's very Irish. So we had to, so I've got this.
I like that though.
Accent and just the F word. So now we give money to charity.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
What did you say? What's your slogan?
We swear because we care.
Square?
Swear.
We swear because we care. Oh.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that too.
Perfect. Well, every time you do, it's matched by the radio station, and the money goes to charity.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Swear because you care. So every time you swear, even if you're not around anybody, make a donation to any charity. Yeah.
You know, I'm curious, listening to what you're talking about, meeting all these amazing people and having such high status friends. I guess another way of saying it. Why are you not in a bad way, but why are you so humble? Why are you so nice and friendly?
You are one of the best known people around.
Very easily go the other way.
I hear that from thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You're so approachable. Why? Because I was raised in the country. I was a PK. My grandparents were preachers. I was raised in the church. I had to go to church every Sunday. I had to sing in the choir even after I graduated. Yeah. It was like I was raised with some principles and things that that's what the Bible says, raise a kid up in the church and he will never depart. I think it was instilled on me to do right all the time. It was instilled on me to follow the right path, and God protected me. And I truly believe God. I can tell you some things. I mean, God protected me so much, even a gay guy turned me down. Now let me break that down for you.
I need a little more context.
Everybody does that. I'll put that pause there for a reason. I was so
more context.
When I was walking around downtown, you have to remember, when I graduated from high school, I weighed 75 pounds.
Oh shit.
I was 4'11".
So you guys know this is not a little man. This is a big man.
I'm 6 feet.
Yeah.
Right. I put a picture on me. I was the water boy for the basketball team in senior high school. I put a picture. Somebody sent me a picture, but then I went close on me standing next to the two players next to me, and everybody online thought it was, my dad or somebody taking me to some event. And when I pulled out, I was the same age. It shocked everybody. I was called Little Newt.
You had like a rocket ship.
I did in one summer, but I was called Little Newt, and I looked like a little child. So this guy came to me once, and I was walking around downtown in the middle of the night, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing out here, young blood?" And I was, "Hey, my name is Miguel Núñez. I'm 640 Cemetery Street. I just ran away from home. Ran away from home. I wanted to be a movie star, blah, blah, blah." He said, wait, stop. But where are your people? And I was like, I don't have any people. I said, "I'm here by myself." He said, "What do you mean by yourself?" I said, "I ran away from home. Nobody even knows I'm here." I said, "Nobody." He said, "Wait, so nobody knows where you are?" I said, "No, because I'm gonna become a movie star, and then I'm gonna blah, blah, blah." He said, "Dude, so you by yourself?" And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "I tell you what, you can stay with me." And I was just so happy because No one's ever said that. I could be inside because October it was getting cold. I was going to sleep behind the bus station, and I was like so happy. So he was like, "Really?" He said, "So, how did your parents?" Then I started telling him, "I wrote a note, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna be a movie star, blah 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 blah." We walk, I'm talking and talking. He goes, "Hey!" He stuck his hand in my chest. I said, "What?" He said, "You can't go with me." And I really got sad, and I was so sad and hurt. And I was like, "Why?" And I know my grandparents always told me I talk too much. I said, "I won't talk too much no more. I won't say nothing no more. I won't even know." He said, "No, no, 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 no. I sleep with men." I said, "Okay, but I'll sleep on the couch." I thought he meant he had one bed.
Yeah.
I probably was 8 or 9
Quite naive.
Right.
street in that naivety, because you can see I'm telling the man everything, but take me and kill me. Nobody know I'm here. I didn't know. And the guy goes, "No, no, no." He said, "No, no." He said, "I'm gay." I said, "I'm happy too," because in North Carolina I had never
I
ever heard gay or homosexual. We heard punks. He's a
Yeah.
punk. Now, if he had said I'm a punk, I would know. But then he said, "No, I kiss men instead of women," and I was like. And the first thing in my head was, okay, all right. And then I started thinking everything my grandparents said. He said, "Listen to me, look at me very carefully." He reached in his pocket. He gave me $20 and said, "Don't talk to anybody again. You get out of the streets and don't tell anybody anything. Because everybody here knows I have your child, whatever that little thing was." But instead of taking advantage of me, he took care of me. And I know that was God. Another time, it was I got October, November, December. I had made Kike, Gary, Sam, and calls. I had met 3 other guys who were homeless, and we were like a little group. And we're walking downtown, and it's the busiest place. And damn, I'm about to run out of juice. And the next thing I know, I mean, I'm about to cry. So I'm the youngest, so I'm walking behind them now. And I see him just walking and talking and looking down and walking and talking. And I go, "Dear God, please, please, please." Because this was the happiest time to be in North Carolina. We didn't get beaten because relatives was around, and we had all the gifts and stuff. So I said, "Please, God, you can't let it be like this." My words verbatim. And as soon as I opened my eyes, I looked down. I picked it. There's $120 all in 20s on the sidewalk. There's no way on God's earth they could have missed that. All 3 of them, this big thing walked. There's no way they could have missed it. And if they would have kicked it with their feet, it would have all spread out because it was like rolled up. There's no way. So then we all go get something to eat. We go to the movies. We come out of the movies about 1 or 2 in the morning. Now I'm walking in front. And I'm all happy. And I look up on the counter. All the stores are closed. And there's a huge gift, all white with a white bow. I'm like, "Hey, look, somebody left their gift, forgot their gift." And this white couple walked by and said, "Yeah, well, it's yours now." And I looked down. I got $180 and a gift. It was Old Spice cologne. And that $180, if you'd have added up every gift we got for my whole 17 years I lived in North Carolina, it wouldn't have came out to $180.
I think that's
That's a
incredible.
fucking great story, man.
That is
Holy hell.
incredible.
That's
It's
God.
I love yeah, I
Yeah, it
love
really is though.
well, it's
It
I
really
love
is.
I love that it's also bringing the good out in people. This guy was going, "Hey, no, I'm
Absolutely.
trying to take advantage of you," and he's like, "No, no, no, buddy, we're not putting you in this position." Like
That
you're a
was
kid."
God. That was God. I know it. I know it.
So years ago, I went jogging and ended up I lived in East
Hold
LA.
on 1 second. I gotta get a cord. Or it's gonna cut off.
Perfect.
Okay, hold on.
I
But I
so
can still hear you.
I lived in East LA, which I shouldn't have. I didn't know better.
Oh, good
I
Lord.
went
You was
jogging.
asking for it.
I went jogging. I was 16. Was living in a
Damn, you went eat jogging and ladies and gentlemen.
I ended up in South Central LA, and this guy comes
She,
over to me.
and she's
And
got blonde hair, and she
he
went
comes over
jogging
to
in
me.
South Central
He
Los
drags
Angeles.
me home, and he grabs me and he said, "What are you doing here?" And we're chatting. I said, "Oh, I'm from Burnie, Tasmania." Very similar story. He's like, "You're gonna get kidnapped. Get in the damn car." I'm like, "No, I'm not getting in the car with strangers." Man drags me in the car, drives me home. He's a blood. Drags me in the car, drives me home, and took me home. Yelled at me all the way home while he drove me home and told me to stay there.
Listen to me. That guy, whoever that guy is, you should find that guy. That
His
guy
name
saved
is
your life.
Yogi. His name's Yogi. He's in prison now. I wrote to him until he passed, and he was a friend of mine his whole life.
Thank you,
In
God,
that
for
prison.
him.
Yep. But he was a
Wow.
good friend. He was a
And I'm
good
gonna tell
friend.
you something right now. I don't believe you would be sitting here right now if it wasn't for Yogi.
No.
No,
A pretty
he's a
ass
good man.
blonde 16-year-old walking in East LA. You'd have been,
I was in a lot
you'd
of
have
trouble.
32 babies right now.
I was in a lot, but that's it. It's you find good people in all places.
It's the path you leave. It's all the things you do right and all the things you do wrong. Listen
Right.
to me. There's a spiritual reciprocal action. For every action, there's a reaction. As much good as you lay out, that's how much you're gonna run into. When you lay out, like some people are do a whole lot of bad shit, and then they say, you know what? After they got all the rewards for it, I'm gonna straighten up. And then they're gonna spend. Oh, they done did all the bad stuff over here. And now they got the rewards from the bad. Now they want to straighten up, straighten up, straighten up, straighten up. Start doing this, and then boom, a disaster hit. And they're like, wait a minute. Why is this? I've been doing everything right. I've been living right. I've been doing this and this and this. Yeah, but you're not paying for the time you did this. That's the boom came from back here. You lay landmines for yourself. You lay landmines for your own security when you do anything wrong. So the more landmines you don't lay, the landmines you don't have to run into. That's how I live.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
say.
I think Diddy's landed in that now. And I gotta
Diddy ain't got landmine. Diddy got landmines, hitting war bombs, unexploded missiles.
He's got land. He's got land nukes. They're right underneath his
it.
feet.
I dealt with him for years. He was always, but again, he was always super nice to me because the companies I was working for were his funders for his
But
music.
I don't believe 80% of those cases. Let me tell you
No.
why. Because there's so many of these people girls and people who went to these parties. They done went to these parties and they went over and over and over. These girls done paid their car notes and bills and
Yep.
went to another one, and they ain't know they even had a case to this come out. And now everybody said, "Wait, so you was at the party? Can you prove it?" Yeah. So did you found them out? Yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right. I had a drink and I started feeling dizzy, and that's why I woke up with 10 dicks in my mouth. Oh yeah. And then they went to the next. A lot of these people jumping on this Diddy money bandwagon.
Yep.
I think it's gonna end up hurting with the jury pool. The probably, I believe, maybe 10% that might be true, and
It's
all of
gonna
these
hurt
people,
the case.
yeah, it's
'Cause
gonna hurt them
look
because it's gonna look like a whole lot of bunch of money grubbing people jumping on the bandwagan, which is happening.
it is. It's you look at what happened to Cassie was horrible. Like it was awful. What that was
Horrible.
awful. But everyone jumps on, and you see that all the time. And again, 16. I was on set, and I got invited to this WWE party, and I went to go with these actresses, and Ron Jeremy grabs a hold of
Of all
me.
fucking people.
Yeah, and he's like,
Oh
"Hey."
hell to the no!
He says, sit your ass down. You're obviously foreign, obviously a virgin, obviously have no idea what you're doing. These girls are at the end of their career. They're trying to lock somebody down. You're young, you're smart. Let me introduce you to the director. And he went and got me a job with the president of Paramount.
That's not where that was going, huh?
But that's the point. He was lovely to me.
I'm getting ready to tell. I was waiting for you to get to the part.
He was lovely to me. He's like,
Wow,
"You girls are
that's why you can't judge everybody by how they treated you. I judge people from the merits of their own character and judging me, because just because they did you this way, you might have been some kind of way to them. They're not going to be that way to me. I agree with that.
That's it. And so I hear these stories about Ron now, and that's a whole different person than I ever
That
met.
was a time ago, though, too.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
But-
I do want to hop on and ask this
Oh.
before we get too close to the end.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear us still?
Yeah.
All right. Before we get too close to the end, I want to know, after all your experiences, if you had to go back and you got the opportunity to look back at everything that happened to you, what would you have done differently? Maybe if not to progress your career in other ways or mistakes you could have avoided, what's something you want to go back and change?
If I could go back and one change, the only thing I would change is keeping my same manager I started with. That's the only thing I always could change.
Oh,
Oh, no.
that was good advice, though.
It sounded like we were getting another great story and then we lost it.
All right,
there we go.
There we go. Perfect. So you would have kept your same manager. Why?
I would because of I think I don't know, because they tell you when you first start out you should because I think me knowing my career, because I always thought maybe this is what they'll tell you. Oh man, you got to go do. You're on fire. You got to move up to a bigger one. Then you get to that bigger one. Then they say, oh man, then you start doing big movies. Oh, you got to go to this one now, which is a process that happens. But I should.
That's cutting out. Well, having a manager that needs you to eat, make sure you work. I'm just saying. If your manager needs you to eat, he makes sure you work.
Yeah, that's true. I
And the
think
one
one
that
of the
gets, plus
reasons
it's
why
the
you'd
one that
go up
gets
though
you
too is
there.
because they have the contacts.
It's true.
Like they have
It's
the higher
true.
up you go in the management,
But
maybe
there's
they
no
have the
reason you
more.
can't have more than one. So I've watched people who keep their.
Okay, yeah, and I always said, I wish I had stuck with the fact that, hey, listen, I don't need to go anywhere. I know what's going to happen, and kept that same manager. That's the only thing I really. But then again, maybe I at that time I thought that was a process. So, I'm at that process,
Right.
so I got to follow the process. But that's the only thing I would change. And some films I turned down when for various reasons. I can't even regret it because I got others. So I've had a stellar career. I've been on TV. I'm on a TV series now, Family Business. We just got picked up for our 6th season on Netflix.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, dude, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it's called Family Business. Check it out. And so I mean, I can't complain about anything. I can't, no regrets. Except, if I had to change anything, I would have probably, and I don't even know if I would have done that. I was
Hmm.
going to say probably waited and saved up my money and not came 4 months after. I was just so eager to get here and get my journey started. But then again, look where it ended up. And, what would have
Right,
happened
just
if I'd
a
have
chance
came
you wouldn't
earlier?
met that guy.
But
I just feel like I was hungry, so it wouldn't have been as tough for me.
Makes
it might
sense.
not have
But
been as tough, but you may not have had the strength and the gratitude without it.
absolutely. So I don't have any regrets.
That's good though. You don't want to have regrets. You don't want to have to think back,
Nope.
man, I wish you did this, that, or the other, especially as you
The only regret I have is that I wasn't driving through South Central back in
20 years ago, getting picked
20 years
up,
ago.
I could have met
picked up by
Yogi.
a
I
guy
could
named
have.
Yogi.
I was,
He
hey,
very
come here,
nice
baby.
man.
Yeah, what you doing over here? Come on, get in. I'm gonna get you right home.
That's
Yeah.
that's kind of how that started. He talked to me for a few minutes, and he's like, "Wow, get in the car." You're like, it was the kindest way I ever got called an idiot.
But hold on, wait a minute. Why were you walking around again?
I was jogging. I was a Victoria's
Just
Secret model.
exercising.
So I
Going
was
for
a
a jog.
Victoria's.
Hold on, stop. So, at what time?
It was about 10 o'clock at night. Oh, we cut out.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
there we
ain't me. It's you.
Oh,
Okay. We
Can
got
you hear me?
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
You were a blonde, young, 20-year-old. You said.
I was 16-year-old Victoria's Secret
Jesus,
model.
60-year-old Victoria Martin jogging at 10 o'clock in South Central. If
Yeah.
anything would happen to you, the jury would just say not guilty.
Now, if anything happened to me, the jury would just be like, "It's her own damn fault." At that
Not
point.
good, not guilty.
That's a
I would say, Your Honor, look, I'm driving home. I look out. She got on shorts. Let me show you this picture, Your Honor. Can you look at the picture, Your Honor? Okay, Your Honor was saying, yeah, that damn, baby. Okay, all right.
I was in bike pants and a sports bra, so you're not far off.
Tell us the truth. Now, you don't have to be ashamed. Tell us the truth. What were you really looking for? You cannot tell.
I just had moved there. I didn't know the area. I'd moved. I was working and I had to go for my run, and that's where I ended up.
You didn't know?
No. I was from Burnie, Tasmania. I come from the smallest island, the littlest town at the bottom of the world.
And you ended up in South Central Georgia. Let me tell you something. I am so glad you spoke. If Yogi was still alive right now, I promise you, I would add him on my little thing. It's called JPay. It's for people that I know from friends who are locked down. They ain't got nobody else, and I put stuff on their books. If you had told me he was alive right now, I would send him something big right now just for on GP.
I always,
No,
even
that
when
is
I
really
had no
kind.
money, I always put something like I always took care of him.
You should have sent him a freaking lock of your hair or something.
I used to send. I always made sure he had money on his books. It was
Good.
just I
Because he literally, if he had not picked you, I'm absolute positively and gave you that
Someone
warning.
Not a doubt in the
no,
mind.
somebody else.
Not a
did.
doubt.
And he
100%.
also explained to me how things worked where I was. Now we are at the end of the show. Tell everyone where to find you. I want to make sure they're following you.
My Instagram is MNUNEZJR. Same thing for Twitter and same thing for Facebook.
I'm going to make sure to put up a
Perfect.
link. Make sure
Yeah,
you
put
are
all that,
following
baby
him.
doll.
Yeah. Make sure you're following him. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, and I had a ball. Anytime.
You were the
We're going to
best.
hold you to that. You're the easiest and best interview we've ever had. So
We can do it again too. All right.
I'm going to hold you to that.
We need
All
more
right. God
stories.
bless.
Yep.
All
I
right.
like
You have
that.
a good day, man.
You as
So,
well.
guys, make sure you are following Miguel. He is one of the nicest people I know. I'm actually going to try and talk him into being in Poultry Guys the musical. And I've got a show we've been pitching with him, a travel show. So I'm Summer Helene, the Baroness. We are on with my co-host. What's his face? The baddest bear in the cage. We'll see you next week. Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.